Encountering wild animals can be exciting, though we often prefer these encounters to be on our terms instead of on theirs, such as this bear visiting its local convenience store. While at one time humanity may have had the opportunity to interact with wildlife more easily, this does not mean domesticated animals or livestock. The increasing urbanization has resulted in over 50% of the world's population being removed from areas where one might come into contact with animals, and in the United States that number is over 80%. That means 80% of Americans will most likely never see anything more wild than a bird, insect, or a rodent in their daily lives. Man's best friend, the dog, has been domesticated for over 15,000 years, and humans have been keeping wild animals in captivity for at least 4,500 years, if not longer. The excitement and awe generated from seeing a wild animal up close and personal continues today. The opportunity to see animals in the wild is not easy, and seeing the animals is not as impressive as documentaries or National Geographic may portray. Traveling to Africa to see giraffes and elephants is expensive and time-consuming, and not an opportunity everyone will have. And when those trips are made, such as in this family trip to Rwanda, though there are chances of close-up and personal encounters like this giraffe on our path, the same trip had these less than personal encounters with most animals, including this solitary elephant off in the distance. Even a stateside trip to Alaska, with the both crews promising to see all kinds of sea life in the wild, led to this distant view of an orca. Had the captain not said what it was, the tourists may have been left guessing to what manner of creature they had just seen. Zoos can usually guarantee a more intimate encounter with animals that capture our attention. And they do capture our attention, as shown by the 700 million visitors that visit zoos and aquariums each year worldwide.
This is Night. She's a 20-year-old barn owl. Gets to meet people up close because it's those up-close interactions that really can have a lasting effect on people.
There's a lot of research that speaks to the shortened lifespans of animals at captivity, as well as their mental welfare. We also have to consider the impact on the exotic and attractive animals such as elephants, lions, and giraffes that captivate children and adults alike, but are far removed from their native habitat. Many animals are unsuited for zoo life, and though zoos have improved much beyond the concrete cages and steel bars of earlier zoos, taking a polar bear and moving it to the desert Southwest is both difficult for the bear as well as for the zoos to provide a suitable replacement habitat.
The wildlife documentary, virtual reality, none of these things have the same positive emotional impact that a zoo has. 10% of the global population visit zoos every year. People from all walks of life and all social classes. So I think without zoos, we'd lose a massive opportunity to keep people being interested in the wild environment.
There's a lot of value in showing the stereotypical zoo animals for education, as well as serving as an introduction into conservation. And recognizing that no enclosure will completely replicate the animal's natural habitats. Are there zoos that are successful without having these stereotypical or exotic animals? Coastal aquariums frequently succeed in this category as the sea life they share is usually gathered somewhere off their shoreline. The Seattle Aquarium contains all manners of life gathered from its own backyard, the Puget Sound. Sea life, most of which would never be seen by a human without special equipment and training, is easy to engage with in the aquarium, and informs us of what we don't see beneath the surface. The Alaskan Wildlife Conservation Center, southwest of Anchorage, accepts injured and orphaned animals and provides them a forever home, and it provides visitors with the opportunity to see what the local wildlife looks like. These animals are in their native habitat, and though held within enclosures, it gives visitors to Alaska a chance to see the local wildlife. A third example is the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum, just outside of Tucson, Arizona. Its mission is to inspire people to live in harmony with the natural world by fostering love, appreciation, and understanding of the Sonoran Desert. And, the museum's founder once stated, it is a balance between animal comfort, ability for the visitor to see the animals, and interiors that would be kept as much like the natural habitat of the animal as our scanty funds would permit. Not only does this museum house nearly 5,000 specimens of 240 animal species, it also has 56,000 plants on its grounds from 1,200 different species, and a mineral and fossil collection of over 16,000 items. The Desert Museum provides the ability to not only see much of what may find in the Sonoran Desert, but it also has the ability to share the relationships created between the animals and their habitat. This includes educating its visitors on the environmental issues in the region, as well as how humans are encroaching upon their habitats.
The biggest threat to wildlife comes from people, and most people live in cities, so zoos are very important because they provide an educational opportunity for people to learn about what the impacts of their daily activities are in faraway places.
By giving local visitors the ability to make an emotional connection with the wildlife in their backyard and the issues they are facing. Could it be an easy leap for these same people to have empathy for the issues wildlife face in other locations, such as how our discarded trash is impacting our ocean? Visitors from out of state and from other regions may benefit from becoming both educated and informed on the Sonoran wildlife and the environmental issues affecting them. If these non-local visitors make an emotional connection with the issues of the Sonoran Desert, it may help them make a connection with their local issues, which may be overlooked as it is where they are currently living. Regional zoos may be a first step in making connections to the environmental and wildlife issues of where we live, and then also be the catalyst to understanding the global issues we're all facing, all beginning with a close encounter with our animal friends, as if we were seeing them in the wild, such as in Rwanda.